Hey guys, welcome back, or should I welcome myself back to the channel? I don't know. Well, for those of you that have the notifications, for those of you that, are here, I really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming. And thanks for being, above all, thanks for being patient with me. Um, yeah, so I really needed to turn off the engines. I just needed a break. The amount of time I spent thinking about industry shit is just astronomical. Like, it's just the one, like, I really like it. It's like something I love. I love talking about it. Um, but sometimes, man, you just got to turn that shit off just for a minute. And the first 2 weeks of March were difficult simply because I realized just how much I think about it. And I'd catch myself and be like, nope, start thinking about something else. So I was doing that. Towards the end of March, thinking like, okay, let's start doing something for April. Like, I had intended completely on putting out a video, but I guess you stop doing things, and then maybe you just kind of lose that groove. That's what it felt like. It just kind of like it doesn't. I don't know, like the groove. Like, even here talking, it feels normal, and as I talk more, I'm like, okay, I'm settling into my groove. We're gonna do this. This is what, maybe like the sixth take. I like to go. I like to record everything in just like one go, and even if something just doesn't feel off. I mean, like, one of the takes was like 15 minutes in, and I just didn't like the vibe of it. What have I been up to? Nothing really, nothing particular. But let's just get to the meat of it. So I got fired. There's just no other way of saying it. I got fired. I got fired from my job. I think it's very specific why it had happened, and it has to do with the channel 100%. And here's the thing. I think one of the hardest things that I was thinking about as far as like how I was gonna tell all this was, in what order should I start with the firing and then work my way back. And I don't know, so I'm just gonna go with what feels right. So the day I got fired, maybe it was like March 8th. It was March already. I had already given my lead line update for February, and I think the last video I had put up was like dissension in the kitchen. Things was just going to shit, man. A chef with zero leadership qualities. That was mainly it. That was really it. It's just like, fuck, man. We're trying our best over here at PM, and it just seems like the chef is either busy laughing employee problems off, or we don't have time, and it's, come on, man. Anyway, so I come in, and I knew something was. I'll tell you how the firing went. Okay, I'll tell you how that day went, and then we'll deep dive into it. We'll go into some things of the past, like how did I get to this spot? Because you just don't wake up one day and it's like, oh, like, there's definitely things on how I interpreted that is what led me to being fired. So I go in that day, and I knew something was going on. And the reason I knew something was going on is because the staff was cleaning. PM staff. Like I said, like, typically I'll go into work and they're stocking their stations. They're just getting their station ready, because it's usually just it's a wreck. It's not filled. It's dirty. It's empty. And the only thing our chef can say is there just wasn't time. Right. Of course there wasn't time. So I go in, and I immediately know, okay, something's going on. Like, everyone's just fucking cleaning. I go into the office to go get some towels. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. The exec chef is there. One of his second in command, she's there, and she had been there like in the morning just helping out. She hangs out at night, just a supportive role, primarily because we didn't have a sous chef for quite a while. And then when we did have a sous chef, I feel like she was gone for quite a while. I heard she got like COVID, or she got really sick. So I didn't really get to know the sous chef, and it's very unfortunate because I don't think I gave a great impression. You know, it's like you're going into a kitchen, you're new, you're going into a kitchen that's going through shit, and then, you know, you meet someone, you meet me, and I'm kind of like in the middle of it, and it's just, you know, you're not going to get the best impression of me. And that, you know, that's entirely my fault. You know, I didn't take out any pressure on her. I didn't take out my frustrations on her. It wasn't that kind of thing. It was just, I don't think she got that like chipper positive me. You know, I was just like in survival mode. I was like, what the fuck? So I go and I start doing my work. And then the second exec chef, you know, like his little underling comes and he's like, hey, can we talk to you? I'm like, okay. So they take me into the it's in a hotel room, so I'm in this room, right? And so on my right is I sit on the corner, right? I sit on the corner of the table. My exec is right in front of me, and then to the right is his second, you know. So he sits, and there's just a moment of silence. He's really thinking about what he's going to say. And then he starts off with, he's like, hey, I just want to say, you know, good for you for following your dreams and with the podcast thing, you know, with podcast channel. I don't know what it was. But yeah, you know, he congratulated me, I guess, on following my dream. But there were two things that he didn't like. And I'm starting to realize, I think it was the last, I mean, as of now, it was the last podcast I did with Chris. And there were two things he did not appreciate. He really didn't appreciate. The first part was criticizing the chef, being so harsh on the chef. You know, his thing was like, you know, you're being hard on this guy that he's never been a chef before. He's never been in a leadership position before. And maybe in a year he's going to be doing great, but I'm just shitting on the guy, you know? The second one, which I think is the one that really, in fact, I think he started it. He's like, I heard a little bit of it. The front of house manager had forwarded him the episode, and so he heard the snippet where I think this is the part that really pissed him off. Like, he didn't like that at all. It was, I was discussing this 45-65 concept. This idea that at minimum, you should be giving 45% of your best, at most 65%. He didn't like that at all. You know, he's like, you know, essentially it came down to, it's like, imagine giving 65% to, you know, to the job or whatever it is that like pays your bills, your rent. Yeah, I think essentially what he's saying is like biting the hand that feeds you. You're not doing your best with the thing that pays for your livelihood, pays for your home, pays for your bills, your car, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Then he went on this thing where he's like, you know, the chef over there, you know, the one sitting on my right, he's like, you know, she has seen me, you know, come up as a 25-year-old chef. Like, I think he started when he was 25. He's my age. He's roughly like my age. So what this is, so maybe like 12 years ago, he started off. I think maybe like 2009, he started off as a sous chef in the company, and then, you know, he's worked his way up from the chef to now like the head chef of the entire company. And I mean, you know, he gave 100%. He never he doesn't believe in a 45-65. He doesn't believe in that. He believes in 100%. He said a lot of things. Again, he was, you could tell. I mean, he said a lot of things, and, you know, he was saying like, hey, you know what? Typically, like, we'll give an employee their final check and be on their way, but he felt very strongly about this. Like, he had to absolutely be the one to kind of, like, he just needed to give me his 2 cents, you know. Now, I'm not sure whether, you know, he implied that I was wrong, but it just seemed like a 45-65 method was not at all what he is looking for in an employee. He's not interested in that. Clearly, that's not what they want. And so for that reason, they let me go. They gave me the last check. It didn't particularly bother me, and it didn't surprise me that I was going to get fired. The previous week, I think when I had started doing, what is it called? A Cook Will Sway, right? DC on the Instagram posted like, new episode, etc., tagged me in it. And it might have been the second one. I can't remember which one it was. Tagged me in it. And this in no way is DC's fault. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus, but posted it. That gets seen, it shows up on my Instagram, which I never post anything related to my channel. The only thing I would post is either like on my stories, just like little personal snippets of my everyday life, or family meal. So I get noticed by the front of house manager. I'm going to work. He's like, "Hey, I saw your podcast thing." I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. Did you hear it?" He's like, "No, I haven't heard it." And, I'm like, yeah. I'm just doing something. The guy's from Montreal. I was like, "Oh, cool. How'd you, just very general questions. I can't imagine. Can you imagine? You're like, "Oh, right on. You got a podcast. That's cool." You turn it on and you just like, oh, I wonder how quickly that smile. Like, I wonder if he was like, "Oh, yeah." He was like, "What the fuck? Yo, I got to tell the chef about this." Anyway, I knew the moment that management found out about the channel, it was over. And it's not because I go out of my way to say these outrageous things. It's because from the very beginning, my focus has always been line cooks. My focus has always been like, what would benefit a line cook? What would benefit you? And a lot of the things that I think would benefit you don't benefit a manager, don't benefit a chef, it blows my mind that there's even chefs that watch this and DM me in support. Like, I'll say things that like the 45-65 thing. I can go into that, but it blows my mind because it's not like I fucking hate chefs or sous chefs or nothing like that. It's just when you're like at that very base position, you don't, most of the advice that you'll get it seems to revolve around keep your head down. Yes, chef. If you got a problem with someone, just, don't let their bad work ethic affect yours. Even I've said, at times it's just like you got to work through it. But part of what I do, part of what I want to do is just empower you guys. Like, it's not like a stage. It is very much, it's a two-way street. It's not just you trying out to join a kitchen crew. It's you should go with a mentality. It's like, is this kitchen crew worth my time? So yeah, like he said a bunch of things and he's like, "Well, what do you think about that?" And again, I'm over here. In my head, it just seemed kind of weird because it kind of feels like you ever get dumped, right? And it's like, what's the point of having this conversation? Like, just give me, like in my head, I'm like, just give me my check and call it a day. But I was like, no, you just had to have your fucking 2 cents. You just had to put in your 2 cents. You could. Personally, I think it was a mistake. I don't think he should have. Because immediately I'm kind of just like thinking back at like interactions that I've had with him, and it's like the things just add up. There's things that just, it just seemed off to me. So how did I get here? How did I get to a position where I am now getting fired? I clearly didn't give a shit. So I get fired, right? Immediately, the first thing I do is I message, call my wife. I'm like, "Hey, this is what happened and this is why." Really? That's why they fired you? That's fucking stupid. I tell my chef, not my chef, my mentor, I'm always going to refer to him as my chef, but I tell my mentor, I tell, I let DC. I let everyone's just like, what the fuck? Seriously, they fired you over some shit you said on a podcast? Now I get where they're coming from. I do think that's some bitch shit that you're gonna fucking fire a guy over some shit that he said. But hey, I fucking get it. I'm not. I see the other side of the coin. You hear a guy talking mad shit about, his boss. Hey man, it's called at will employment. I get it. So, and so in my head, I was, like I said, I didn't feel bad about it. I still don't, like, what the fuck do I care, Go ahead, fire me. I don't give a shit. I mean, he was kind enough to say, like, oh, feel free to, you can use us as a reference if you want, blah, blah, blah. I think it was more like, hey, you can't give us 100%, so we're just going to let you go. Good luck to you, and if, you need to use this as a reference, go ahead. That's about it. But like I said, like, I don't, like, whatever, dude. Whatever. One of many kitchens. He did some wild shit, like, hey, you can go to the other, it was like some Michelin kitchen or just some, like, a really high-end kitchen up the road in the next town. And it was just like, I'm thinking, it's like, dude, I don't want to say out of touch with reality. That I don't know if that's accurate, but it's like, he clearly doesn't even know where, like, I want to use the word manhood, like, not like manhood in the macho way, but it's like, where do I stand within this culture? Like, what is it that matters to me? And I said it earlier in a previous video, like, to me, the accolades don't mean shit to me. It's not my kitchen. It's not my business. Oh, but you were a part of it. Fuck out of here, man. It's not my kitchen. Dangling a fucking carrot doesn't really mean shit to me anymore. Like, you're either going to give me a promotion or you're not. And if not, that's fine. Like, to me, what I care about most is the fucking cooks. And it's only because I've seen time after time cooks just get like the short end of the stick, the bullshit end of the stick. And, I've always said, it's like, dude, when you move up, it's not your fucking ticket to kick your feet up. And I'm not saying that these guys are kicking their feet up. But fuck, man, I just can't. I can't fucking do certain things. I remember I was going to come in that day. And I was so ready to get in an argument with my chef. Simply because the day before that, the day I snapped. Did I mention that I had snapped at my sous chef? At my chef? I call him the sous chef. He was the sous and then he became the chef. So I snapped at him, all right, because I was sick. And then he made me come in when I was sick, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, I'm sick. And again, there's a reason why I was just very gung-ho about not coming in. I'm like getting ready to, clean up, sweep, and mop and that. And he stops me. He's like, the exec chef doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to delegate that to the team. In my head, I'm thinking, like, dude, like, PM... The morale with PM is already low. It is fucking low, and they feel like you don't support them. Like, everything is either like just just gotta pick up the slack. There's no time for this, or it's fucked up that he would even laugh off fucking problems. It just sucks, and the exec chef said that, hey, you know what, he's never been in management and maybe in a year he'll be really good. And even when I said, like, dude, he's fucking, like, condescending, he's kind of, he's very passive aggressive, not all the time. It's very hard because he's a really nice guy. The kind of nice guy that's kind of a pushover. And the kind of nice guy where it's like, being aggressive doesn't suit him. It's very cringy. He's not good at it. Again, like, I'm getting mad at him, and I'm like, dude, like, I'm sick. I call out. I come into work. You look at me and are like, oh, hey, you know what? Why don't you go home? Get the fuck out. Are you serious? I was very much upset, and for his brain to go at 200 IQ and say, hey, if you don't want to work here, you don't have to. That I wouldn't have said that. I think I would have done things much differently had I been the chef. I mean, but I'm not. You know, he's definitely, you know, they picked him for a reason. They picked him for a reason. Possibly because maybe there was no one else to promote. Anyway, so I snap at him, you know, and I go home. And then I'm thinking, like, dude, I'm not going to ask PM to clean up after, like, dude, no. Like, I couldn't even imagine. I wasn't even worried that they would blame me because I knew immediately that they would know, like, this isn't coming from you, Josue. We know damn fucking well it's not coming from you. And so, you know, in my head, I'm thinking, like, okay, so what? Do I have to, like, wait till he leaves so I can do all that kind of stuff? And maybe it's all my own fault for not delegating shit. It could very well be that. I don't, you know, I like to be a hands-on person. I like to be the person, like, if I can help, I'll do it. You know, if I got nothing else going on, I'll do it. You know, I understand the whole you delegate because there's other, whatever, man. The situation was so fucked in that kitchen that I wasn't about to, like, add more shit to their plate. That I think that was a bad call. So I was ready coming in that day, but hey, I got fired instead, which I think is a great thing. Anyway, so it wasn't necessary. Like, I kind of just felt like, okay, so I got fired, and I know why I got fired. Like, even that specific episode, right? That specific is what got me fired. Now, I knew. I think I'd already said this. Look, I knew that this YouTube channel was going to be like my dude. I knew it. There was no way. There's no two ways around. There's nothing anyone is going to tell me that's going to say, like, well, it could have been. No. It wasn't going to go two ways. And so for the last 2 years, I've essentially just been going parallel, you know? But then with the things going on in the kitchen, the way my chef, you know, like, he'd send like, I'd organize things and then he'd undo them because it didn't suit AM. And then I wake up to, like, fucking picture. What kind of shit is this? Why don't you fucking use your words, homie? Use your fucking words and communicate. And instead of just saying, like, oh, well, it just doesn't make, why don't you make it make sense to me? Don't just get, it's weird when, like, everyone in the kitchen is on board with one idea and it's just like, nah, just doesn't work for me. Okay. I mean, again, the video I was going to make next was going to be basically talking about how don't take things too personal because it's not your kitchen anyways. You know, like, why are you getting attached to a kitchen? It's not even yours. Like, I can understand where your pride comes from, where, you know, you have pride in what you do. It's not your fucking kitchen. You're not the fucking owner. You're, like, we're just visiting, dude. We're just here to do a job and we leave. That kitchen has already moved on from me. I am so innocent. I'm not over here and going to pretend that I'm like, oh, you'll see, that kitchen is not, fuck out of here, man. I'm just one of many cooks that are going to go through that company. So I go home and I'm like, I just need a reset. And I just need a reset. That's what I need. You know, it's like, how do I go forward? I've made the decision. Like, I remember, like, I always listen to my content before I upload. So there was no mistaken. Even in that episode, I've had several instances where I'm like, should I upload it? Should I not upload? Should I upload it? But it's like, I felt such a strong need to upload, not as a jab, but I knew that someone was going to get value from it. Someone was going to be like, dude, this, you know, I'm in similar situations. I've been in similar situations. Hey, thanks for the heads up type of thing, you know? So I just kind of needed, like, okay, how do I move forward, but in a way where I prioritize this channel? And that was really it. That was just a break. I just needed to, like, quit thinking about it, chill, which I know it seems counterintuitive, but I needed to walk away from it for a little bit. Okay. And then now we're back. And now I feel so empowered. Like, I don't, like, Now I feel I can really talk about everything and anything. Like it's good. Again, when I say anything and everything, it's not like, oh, the next 15 episodes we're just gonna be shitting on everyone and everything and fuck. It's not like that. I'm just not. Nah, fuck that shit, dude. You know how many times I have to see chefs just spit bullshit, and we're supposed to just nod and be like, "Yeah, chef." It's not our fucking kitchen, dude. You don't have to fucking be there. I should have fucking, and I keep thinking to myself, like, I should have fucking bailed when I had the chance, and I almost did. But god damn it. It's so hard when you have, like, a crew that waits and supports you and says, please don't go. Come on, Osoy. We'll make it work together. So how did I get here? How did I go from seemingly a very, like, I think maybe like one of the at least within the line cooks, a very well respected cook, to just get the fuck out of here. It starts in 2019. It was like the beginning year of 2019, because like we hadn't gotten a new sous chef yet. And in this instance, like, I'd been working for the company for about a year, and they're one thing that they do sell is just this sense of community, this sense that like, there's no yelling in our kitchens. If there's ever a problem, please let us know. We will make it work, etc., etc. Just just good shit. Like, fuck yeah, like, this is the way kitchen should be ran. And I had a great chef. He was a chef that was like, he was firm, but he was always fair. Like, it was like even his, how do I say this? Like, yeah, he was aggressive, but it never felt toxic. It always felt like there's a reason behind it. He's pushing you because you can do better. I never got the shit. I never got his wrath. He never yelled at me, but I think it's because I knew what he expected. I knew what he wanted, and I knew how to deliver it. In this moment, I had met their wonderful toxic delivery meat guy. The first time I encountered him, I remember, like, I was working with him. I didn't, I thought normal guy, very friendly. And then he started talking shit about, like, some female, like, this cook, and she was right around the corner. I'm watching. I'm like, new guy, and he's just talking mad shit, like, she doesn't do anything. She, trash, blah, blah, blah. And then she goes up and calls him out. It's like, listen, next time you want to talk shit, you can say it to me. And it blows my mind because I know that she heard him. He's saying it to me. And then, like, without skipping a beat, he was like, I didn't say anything. And if I had a problem with you, I would say it. I just want you to know that I think you're a great worker. I'm like, God damn, dude, you are next level on this bullshit. Like, fuck. And so I didn't like that. And one of my major flaws as a human being, this is really one of my many flaws, is that if I don't like you, that's it. If I don't fuck with you, that's it. It's very hard for me to even, like, engage in a conversation with someone that I just don't really either respect, or I just don't like. I can't stand it. Like, I can't stand, like, yeah, I just don't like that. Like, if we're not clicking, dude, it's just, I'd rather not. I'd rather just peacefully ignore you, to be quite fucking honest. And so when I started getting trained on his station, they put him on fry, which he hates. He always hated it. And yeah, he'd try to, like, buddy with me, but it's like, I already see the way, he'd call, like, servers fucking idiots because I remember, like, okay, so all this happens before a conversation that my exec chef has with me, right? So this guy, I remember one time, like, my like, wife and kids came, to eat. And at an open kitchen, I seen them. And this fucker, like later a cook tells me that he was talking like just saying some fucking wild shit, really disrespectful shit. I couldn't, but like, what the fuck, dude? Like, we're in an open kitchen. You're just casually talking shit about my family. Oh, what the fuck, dude? You know? No, I'm not gonna Will Smith him and just go and. I mean, I should have smacked the shit out of him right then and there. But I didn't. You know, I expressed it. I expressed my frustration to the chef. Things were getting kind of crazy. You know, again, like, this is a guy that like is pulling new employees aside and making sure to let them know that I am a piece of shit, a snake in the grass. Just, I don't know, man. I don't know why he had such a problem. I don't even know. Maybe it's because I just didn't buy. Again, everyone else seemed to at least BS with him, be kind of friendly. I really can't. I don't fuck with people like that, man. You're gonna be two-faced around people. You're gonna like talk shit and then be like, no, I did. Like, you're just being an asshole to be an asshole. You're being fucking toxic, you know? He wouldn't help. He wouldn't help you. He'd like let you just fucking drown on your station, and he'd just be on his station. Like, I remember one time, Saute was getting slammed, and he could have easily jumped in, you know, because usually grill will help Saute, and fry will help plancha. Everyone's helping everyone. This fucker just looks over, and then he grabs, like, he takes out like a third pan of his sprout salad, and he starts to pick through them. He goes and gets another third pan, dumps all the sprout salad on a half sheet tray, and then he puts the bad microgreens in one third pan and another. It's like, first, I want to let you know this is not that kind of restaurant. But I want to say that he's doing it just to fucking appear busy and doing it just to fucking, you know, but, you know, this is typical things, man. I've heard him say, that's not my station. I don't fucking care. You know, this guy would be like, I'm going to go on a break. Sometimes he'd go on breaks and not tell anyone. And I'm talking like 20-minute breaks. I mean, this guy probably walks to the fucking down the block to grab his car, has a cigarette, drives back to the parking lot, has another stick. I mean, this guy really was not an ideal employee. In fact, I get now why he's still in the company. It makes a lot of sense now. Anyway, come in one day, you know, so I'm getting ready. So one day I'm just getting ready for brunch. And of course, you know, I'm setting up my station, which is the grill station, and the sous chef or I can't forget who it was. But someone was telling me, he's like, you know why your station is never set up right in the mornings when you come in? Because your buddy made it very clear. When I know Josue is opening, I don't give a fuck. I'm not stocking anything for him. I'm not filling up. Like, damn, dude. Like, I don't think I've never had a bigger op than that guy. All right, so then the exec chef comes. He's like, we need to talk. I'm like, okay. I'm like, damn, we're here, huh? He's like, yeah, you know, if I'm getting involved, you know it's serious. I'm like, okay. And again, if there's ever a problem, let us know. You know, we'll work it out. So that's the attitude I went with. So I'm sitting there. He's like, I hear that you have a problem with. I'm like, yeah, you know, I do. And I don't even think I get to my second point. I said, like, I forgot what I said. I said one thing. This fucker cuts me off. The fucking exec. He cuts me off, and then he says, I don't care. He clearly doesn't know. Like if he doesn't see it, he doesn't think it happens, you know? There's been several times where it's like, hey, so I didn't see it. Chef, did you see anything? I didn't see anything, exec chef. You know, that's the way it kind of works. And that's what I understand now. That's how it works. It's, you know, see what you want to see, and you don't see what you don't want to see. It's just, you know, it just wasn't convenient. So I'm told, like, I don't care. which I would have expected in like any other kitchen. But when you're when you're selling that fucking like that presentation of we fucking care, we're, in this company we care, we're different. The fuck, man? You're gonna say I don't care? Like that's your go? That 200 IQ. I've been in management since I was 25. I don't care. Fuck, man. Look, I've had a lot of cooks come up to me and tell me shit, even just as a lead. They would tell me shit that I didn't fucking care. Like, dude, like in my head, I'm like, dude, quit bitching, dude. Like, shut the fuck up. Not once did I ever say I don't care. Not once did I brush off anything. Like, I take it serious, dude. Like, just because it's not an issue to me, it doesn't mean it's not an issue to them. And when you say I don't care, you also don't know what you're saying I don't care to. He should have just fucking shut the fuck up and listened to what I had to say. And then he can be like, dude, you're being fucking crazy. Like, dude, you're overreacting. Josue, just, dude, it's not that big of a deal. So he talks shit about your family. Who fucking care? But that's what he said I don't care to. He didn't give a shit. I mean, that's how I take it. If my complaint is going to include things like you take new employees out to talk shit about me, there's a guy now who's like my friend, and we still talk, and he was the first one to let me know about it. He's like, dude, Jose, like, I gotta say, man, I'm so sorry, because the first few weeks, I kind of didn't, like, I wasn't sure about you, because he pulled me aside, and I remember he made this, like, example. He's like, yeah, man, it was all, like, really weird, like, deep throat. Like, he comes up to me, like, casually, he's like, when you get a chance, meet me outside by the ash. And so he was like weirded out, and he goes like, I didn't want anyone to hear, but I just needed you to know that guy Josue he's no good, man, And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. And then another cook's like, oh yeah, he said the same thing about me. And I forget what their names were, but dude, he was doing all this shit. And so that's the first instance. So he's like, yeah, so more or less that conversation was like the chef telling me, let a hoe be a hoe. Shut the fuck up. Keep your head down and play Silence of the Lambs. I'm like, okay. He's like, maybe in another company, you'll move up in the way you're dealing with things. And, I was just feeling sour. I was just like introvert. Like, why the fuck do I want to talk? Why the fuck do I want to be outgoing when you're like harboring a piece of shit like this, So he's like, maybe in another company you can stripe, but not in this one. I'm like, okay. All right. And I remember just thinking to I went back to my station. I'm setting up grill, and I'm thinking to myself, like, okay. So I can either A, go on board, or B, I could just go to another, because I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Like, the level of disrespect to tell another, being an executive chef and telling an employee that you don't care. Fuck you. So I'm thinking like, dude, fuck this place, man. I gotta get out of here. But it's like, where, he's right. Like, if I go anywhere, well, not that he's right, because he didn't say this, but in my head I'm thinking like, look, this, even on a bad day, the company has its good things. I did enjoy my time, It's just a fucking shame that there's like a fucking cancer, a walking, breathing cancer in the company. But again, it's the cooks that made it fantastic. I mean, when I think of my fond memories in the company, it's never like a chef or the exact, or like, oh man, the accolade, like that. There's a point of pride in that, but it was always the people that really made it. That's where my heart is. That's where, like, that's what I fucking care about. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, look, I could leave here and I don't have to deal with this shit. But if I go to another kitchen, there's going to be new problems there. And if I keep hopping from kitchen to kitchen, it's going to be like that forever. And how am I going to move up? How am I going to become a chef if every fucking time there's a fucking issue? Like, I don't think I'll ever find like the perfect kitchen. I just don't think that's possible, you know? It's either a kitchen that demands all your fucking time. Like, you are putting 12 hours a day no matter what. Or it's going to be a kitchen where it's like everyone is just fucking yelling at each other. Or it's a kitchen where it's like the chef is yelling at you. Or it's a kitchen where no one gives a shit, you know? They're dropping shit on the floor and you're like, well, you just throw it in flash it in the deep fryer. You know, it's always fucking something, right? And so that's kind of like, that was the first one I'm like, I need to do my own thing. Fuck that. I'm going to do my own thing. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I'm like, I guess, like, I think like every cook, you immediately think like, I'm going to start a restaurant, you know? And then I'm going to run things the right, you know, with respect. And I've seen it done well before. So no one's going to come and tell me like, oh, you go, I hate, and it's always like the most experienced people. It's always the older people that are like, oh, you just fucking wait and see, and then you'll get a dose of reality. But it's like, dude, how do you think we advance this culture? How do you think you advance anything without some risk? I don't have to have all the fucking answers to know something is bullshit. He's good at defending his fucking little company, his position, his everything, because he's had so many years. Some people are just good at bullshitting. They're good at selling a story. They're good at selling a dream, you know? So me, this is whole new. This whole idea of like self-care and like, you know, advocating for yourself as a line cook, that's new. So I don't have all the fucking, I'm still figuring it out. Someone that's been in management for like fucking like since forever, you know, they're gonna have their bullshit down very, very well. They've got years of experience that they can just go off of, you know. And so that's kind of where it started all, you know. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that, and then I guess I could just document my journey. I figured I'd make Salvadorian food. I don't know how to make Salvadorian food, but I could learn. You know, I could learn how to make pupusas, and so, you know, early footage, I was doing that. But it just didn't. The more I did that, the more I realized like I don't care so much about the food. I enjoy cooking. Like, I'll open up a recipe book and do shit, but for me, it's not like, I don't know. I don't really get. I don't know what the it factor is for people when they cook, or the it factor is for chefs making menus, and I don't know, man. But for me, that's like, maybe I just haven't been around the right people to inspire me. But for me, you know, like I know how to make good food. I can make great, you know, it's fine. I care more and more about the fucking people. So fast forward. So anyway, that was the first instance. Then fast forward to 2020. It's March, and it was like the third week I'm out of work, right? I'm at home, and I'm going through Reddit. And I'm like, what are line cooks doing? And it's fucking crazy because I feel like almost like everyone. Did you guys feel that every like society or just human beings as a whole kind of like we all went through the same phases? I feel like during March it was just shut down, right? And then like remember when like around May and June, everyone got into that, you know, grind, hustle mentality, you know, like I'm not just gonna sit around at home. We gotta find some meaning behind all this. We gotta do so. We have all this time now, you know. I remember that, and so I remember like the third week of March, right? I'm feeling weird about it. I'm starting to like reflect back in my time, and Reddit is right there, and there's so many cooks saying that same shit. Like, dude, like, what the fuck, man? I've been dedicating my life, and then it's gone, you know? Like, and what do you have to show? All for what, you know? And let me go back on something else. Before that, right? So 2019 is that, like, I don't care talk. And then And then what happens? I forget what month it was. Actually, I can remember exactly what month it was. I'm getting my times all fucked up, but do you remember when Far Cry 5 came out? I know it's fucking crazy, but it's like I was in the hospital then. I'm like, I want to go buy Far Cry 5 and play it because I played Far Cry 4 and I really liked it. But me at that time, I was just like 100% go, 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 go. I'm showing up, right? My wife knew the moment I get a phone call and it's the chef, I'm going in. There's no question. It doesn't matter where I was in, I've missed birthdays, I've missed holidays. I like any opportunity I can to help, I'm there. And then what happens? 2 weeks, I'm working through it. I'm working, work. And then, I'm working 2 jobs. I'm giving it my all. I'm giving 100%. What fucking happens, man? I lose strength in my arms, like my hands, like I can't pick up a knife. I can't breathe. I feel like shit. And I had been trying to shake this cold for like 2 weeks. And lo and behold, I have bacterial pneumonia in both lungs. Like over 75%. Just fucked. The first day, the doctors had no idea what it was. They're like, dude, you're getting worse. We don't know what it is, but we're going to admit you, and we have to figure out what it is because you're not getting any better, and we have no idea why you're getting worse. But that was it, man. And then that's when the doctor's like, he's like, ask me about my health, what I do, and everything's fine. And he comes back and he gives me the weirdest fucking answer. And he's like, dude, you're doing too much. I mean, like like work. He's like, it's not that. It's like you're doing too much. You're working yourself to death, dude. You need to take it easy, chill. You don't have to go in every time they call you, and you don't have to do 12-hour days. And I remember thinking, like, the fuck are you talking about, dude? Shut the what? No. But it gave me something to think about. I was thinking about that, like during quarantine. I'm thinking back on those things. I'm thinking back to an exec, to a company that's like, we care, just for the exec chef to shit on it and say, I don't care. I get sick. I miss work. Me trying to give 100%. I miss a month. I miss a month's worth of work. I mean, I even look at my scar now. My wife likes to insist that I didn't go back to work. But there's the Facebook post. I go back to it sometimes. And it's a picture of it. My hand just newly sewed. And in the comments, I remember like at the time I meant there's like, did you go back? And then the front of house manager replied underneath that. He's like, yeah, he did. He came back and finished service like a fucking boss. He's like, he had to have a shirt that says certified badass. But then it's like, is that really what I'm glorifying? Is that really like my second video? I said I wouldn't do that again, nor would I recommend it. If you get injured, go home. If you're sick, go home. Giving 100% to a company. What is a company? You know what the purpose of a company is? It's to make money. And they can go ahead and sell you anything they want with, well, it's money, but we care. We try. Shut the fuck up. At the end of the day, hey, man, you're out here saying like, hey, if you have a problem, let us know and we'll figure it out, just so the exec chef can say, I don't care. Right. Yeah, you guys really fucking care a lot. I remember another time we had this lead, and every fucking week this lead was getting talked to because he would just he'd dick around. It was like that first instance that I realized, like, dude, what is it with people moving up and thinking that they can just kick their feet up, let other people do work. They can go out and all the cigarette breaks they want. They can come in 20 minutes late. Like they walk in like they fucking own the place, right? And this guy just like, because of his own ego, fucks us up because he's working expo and he's not getting along with the grill guy. And this is another grill guy, not douchebag. It was his day off. But my boy's out here. He's like, dude, can you just cool? Like, you're slamming us. I'm feeling slammed. I just choose not to say anything. I'm like, dude, like, if he says anything to me, I'm going to be like, the fuck you want me to do? I can only cook so many things. Like, I'm good, but I'm not like a fucking pro. Get the fuck out of here, man. He's out here just saying, well, cook faster. All of us were just like, dude, fuck you. I remember like we were all done. Like we're all cooking, right? And then like right when it starts to die off, we're just like, like that haze that you get. You're like, dude, what the fuck was that? This motherfucker comes back with a fucking beer from the bar. He's like, I'm going to go do some orders, guys. And then we're all done. We're all ready to leave. And then he comes like, oh, hey guys, do you guys need help? Is there anything I could do for you guys? Dude, I could not even. I don't know, man. I'm surprised I didn't go off on him. Like verbally lash out on him. I couldn't fucking do that. We all closed very quickly that night because we didn't even want to be there, right? And then the next day, I, tell the chef, I'm like, hey, this happened, just so you know. And he's like, dude, I knew something had happened because I came in and the way things were closed, I could feel the resentment. And it was so funny, man. Like the way he's like, yeah, like 100%. Like we were not happy. And I told him, like, dude, if it wasn't for the fry guy not wanting to do it, we would have walked out. Hands fucking down, we would have walked out. Like we were ready to, but the fry guy just didn't want to. And he's like, no, guy, no. Maybe he didn't want to lose his job, but we were fucking ready to fucking walk. Like, go fuck yourself. All of us were ready. Of course, here comes, I don't give a fuck chef. Exec chef comes in. And here's another moment where I'm like, oh, okay. He calls me outside with the chef. And, we're talking about, he's talking to me about like, okay, so you guys had a bad service and blah, blah, blah. And his favorite go-to line, if and when I was ever in your position, every fucking conversation I ever had with him starts with that. He's like, my focus would have been on finishing service the best to my ability and not letting that get to me. I remember when he said that, he's saying that to me very serious. And I look over, I just kind of glance at the chef, right? The chef is just there, like he's leaning back, he's chilling, he's watching him talk. He's like, if and when I was ever in your position, I would have done. And then when he gets to that part, like, I wouldn't have let it get to me. I would have just tried to finish. He looks like the fuck. It would. If you guys ever seen this video of this rapper, he's like,
I jump somebody, my man gonna jump with me. You feel me? If I rob him, my man gonna rob him. Like if I want to smack the shit out of him, my man gonna smack the shit out of him. And if I shoot, my man gonna shoot. And if I gotta die, my man dying with me. Like, that's just how it is. Like, my people is right for me, no matter what. And I know that for a fact.
It's respectable, man.
Ain't no goofy niggas around me. They're gonna die if I gotta die.
I wish somebody would die for me, man. Like,
no, fact.
Like,
that was the same look. He looks at him like, what the fuck are you talking? That's your advice? Finish strong? Because in my head, I'm thinking like, this sounds like bullshit. But this guy knows. This guy, he's an executive chef. But then it's like, to see his reaction, it's like, huh, you know what? Maybe it's just a title after all. Maybe it doesn't mean he has all the fucking answers. So that's where my thoughts, so as you see how I'm sort of formulating this whole thing, this idea of like, dude, what the like expectations versus reality. You give 100%, it doesn't mean they're homie, you're just an employee, but we expect you to give 100%. Nah. You know what giving 65% is? It means you're not going to fucking bother me when I'm home. It means that I'm going to call out if I need to. That's it. I'm not saying call out 30 minutes before your shift. You want to call out 2 hours? You want to call out in the morning? That's fine. it means that I'm not gonna fucking take that shit home with me. Like the fuck, man, you know? It's like every instance you give 100%. It's like giving 100% in a relationship that's not reciprocating that with you, but somehow you're still expected to give your all. You know how fucked up that is. So no, I would say it's absolutely reasonable not to give 100% and just give what you need to. Look, if you are just super gung ho, like that's fine, man. You don't got wife and kids, that's fine. You I got wife, I got kid. They don't have a monopoly on good like kitchen culture. They don't have. No one has a monopoly on that. No one can say that. Fast forward, right? 2020, I started making videos, right? I'm thinking like, the fuck is this shit, man? If this is over, if I'm never cooking again, I should at least share my experience in my story. Like, I know things, and it just seems like the only people that I hear about are just like people that are out of fucking touch with reality, out of touch with the culture. That is like, and it is, man. Like I don't know about any other, but it's like line cooking is a fucking culture. It's not just fucking employees. It is like, it's a group of people that have their own language. It's a group of people that have same experiences. It's a group of people that work at odd times of the day and night, don't have the same schedules, like for me, like it's very odd. Like me, it's like 10 at night and I'm having an energy drink because I don't intend on going to bed anytime soon. Why? Dude, because it's like I need some me time. Like my schedule is just like not a typical person's schedule or line cook. It's a culture. And it's being ran by guys that haven't even fucking been on the line since. They're fucking office chefs. They completely lost. It reminds me of like when people get into politics because they want to like fix the shit from the inside only to become just another fucking cog in the whole fucking system. So fast forward, right? I'm living in California and we get the fires. I think this was 2020. There's like just bad fires right now. I remember one morning, I wake up and the sky is red. Like I've never, there was like the Tubbs fire and all that, which is like, I think 2017, 2018. 2018, and that was pretty bad. Smoky, it was like raining ash, like something straight out of Schindler's List. But this one was a whole new thing. Like, dude, it fucking wiped out an entire town. An entire town doesn't exist because of the, like, how intense this fire was. Everything was red. You go in, it's like that. You see the smoke looks like overcast. I mean, it is bad, really fucking bad. In fact, it's fucking ridiculous because like some days I'd go into work and these fucking customers come in with fucking ponchos so ash doesn't get on them. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. Like, are you serious? And so on the worst day of the smoke, I said, dude, I'm not going. I chose not to give 100%. I said, I'm not going in. Fuck that. I'm picking my health first. Again, I have had that experience. I've had the experience of just, come on, push to get the fuck out of here with that shit. Never again. I'm tired of always having to go to the fucking hospital for my hands, for my, like every fucking time. And for what? It's 2020. The fucking world's ending. The world, the state's on fucking fire. And if shit goes down tomorrow, what do I have to show for it? I can tell you all the things that I've lost. I've lost the time with my family. I've lost the time with my kids, birthdays. No, dude. Like, I got a life. I'm going to miss out the entire life because I'm giving 100% to you? You're out of your fucking mind. Fuck that. So, that same day, I'm just like, people are opening and just, the managers are just acting like there isn't a fucking fire raging, right? And I'm like, the fuck? So I go on Reddit and I'm just, I post a meme. I thought it was funny. Maybe not if you're an owner and you're fucking struggling. Yeah, but you know, what the fuck you expect me to do? That's how I'm coping with it. Of course, the next day, exec chef calls me into his office, into the office. And he goes on this whole thing. It's like, I saw you post this thing, and you need to think about what you post. Because, like, what if someone saw that and that was all they, and that kind of, and in my head, I'm thinking, like, if someone sees a meme and that just kind of fucks their day up, I think that person had bigger issues going on in their fucking life. And if someone sees that meme and decides, hey, you know what? I'm not going into work. Good for you. I'm starting to think now that he was talking about himself. He saw that, and as, like one of the main management people, again, like the only person above him is the owner, and him and the owner are like this. So maybe that, for him, it was like, it made him feel a type of way. And I didn't know that the same day I called out, the same day I posted that meme, one of their restaurants, the entire kitchen refused to work. They're like, we're not going, and he's talking about, like, look, if you can't come in, that's fine. If you don't want to, that's fine. But just don't go around fucking advertising that shit. And it was such an awkward conversation. I think I even remember saying, like, sorry if I triggered you. And he's like, no, you didn't trigger me. I just want to make sure that you're okay. All right? Like, I wasn't going to apologize for it. Like, what the fuck are you talking? I'm not, like, did you think you were going to call me to the office? I was going to apologize? Oh, sorry, chef. No, dude, get the fuck out of here, man. Why are we even open? I'm glad those people fucking didn't go into work. Hell no. Fuck them. Not the cooks. I'm happy that dude, it made me so happy. It was those, like, maybe this is me being an egomaniac, but it was that moment where I felt like, dude, you exec chef are so fucking out of touch with shit, because your only thing is, and he said some weird shit in that conversation, and I felt like, dude, I called out. I felt it was a type of way, and then these guys do the same thing. Like, are we on the same wavelength? You know what he told me? After he told me, like, what goes into a business, after he gave me explanation about, I was like, hey, man, we got to keep it open. We got, the lights, the bills, his worry, and there's something about it, and I went back to it now, and I'm like, interesting, is one of his worries that kept him up at night was that he wouldn't be able to work in a kitchen of that, I can't remember what it was, but I'm thinking to myself, like, that is what's keeping you up at night. Then you may not be able to work in a kitchen of this level. That's what's keeping you up at night. That's where your thing is, right? And then I go back to, like, this firing conversation I had with him, where it's like, I gave 100%. I've been doing this since 25, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, like, that's what he cares about. You have a toxic employee who's shitting on every single person, and you don't care. There's, people's health at risk. Your worry is you're not going to be able to work at a kitchen of this level, this standard, this, like, well, what exactly, like, you're going to miss your little white coat? You're going to miss, like, what? And then, like, I'm going to bring up, like, hey, you're, well, the chef at the deli is, he's condescending. He's kind of a dude. I don't see it. Josue. No, I don't see it. Listen, I've been doing this since 25. I see a lot of shit, but I don't see the shit you're talking about. Him and I are incredibly two different people. You see, that's the chef that's there to preserve the system and the way it's been. That's the chef that he's in it for himself. It's an ego thing. He's just going to stand there. No, it's not. No, it's not. You're the one telling other fucking cooks that you don't care. You're the one telling fucking like, you know what keeps me up at night? That I might not be able to work with in a company of this level. Who the fuck homie, there's other things going on and you're worried about that. You're worried that you're not going to have a nice white coat to wear. Seriously? That's where you're at. That's where you're at. You know where he's at now? You know where all that 100% gets him? Now he sits in the driveway of restaurants not wanting to go in. Like he doesn't want to go in. He's at a point now where he tells his the owner's wife, I can't work. I just can't do this many hours. I just can't. It's like, what a fucking self-righteous Uncle Tom you've become. You've lost your way. If you're going to ask me to choose between the organization and the people, I'm always going to pick the people. Every fucking time. Fuck no. There's a fucking fire out there. Nah, dude, we're not doing this. One day, no, you're right. That's going to make us or break us. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Homie, your owner, your boss cannot stop opening restaurants. Like it's just this thing. The guy just opens restaurant like crazy. He's already got the 7th one lined up. Okay? Like I worked at the 6th. No, I worked on this 5th restaurant. Then they moved me to the 6th. And then the last I heard, he's got a 7th one coming up. Dude, cool it. Why don't you just fucking cool it and focus what you got here and take care of the people? And let me tell you something. Taking care of people is more than just money. I fucking hate how that's the one go-to. Like, you know what I love more than money? Respect. You know what I love more than like, oh, you know what? At the last company function, they gave away $20,000. They give $1,000 to each employee. You know what's even better than that? Getting paid an appropriate amount. Oh, they're 200 IQ, and you know what they did? They tip pool now. I know this is going on different things. I know that us cooks don't get paid the best. But you know what? They did some shit that reminds me about being in like a shitty relationship. You guys ever been in a relationship where they're like, oh, you can go ahead and leave, but good luck finding someone like me. You can go ahead and maybe work over there. Maybe they'll put up with your fucking little schedule. I don't think so. I mean, maybe you can go there. I don't think they're going to be as open-minded as us. I don't think they're going to be as kind as us. I want to tell you right now, whether you're in a relationship or whether you're in a company, no one has a monopoly on this shit. We may not pay the most, but you know what? We treat our people right. Do you? Do you? Do you? I left. I applied at a place. And, they offered me more money than what I was making, even after the tip pool, right? Like, they'd even proudly put, like, oh, in this paycheck, everyone made an additional $198 thing. And then I go to a spot just to find out, and I'm here like, oh, no. I'm not trying to be a lead or a sous. She's like, no, sorry, this is what we pay our line cooks. Excuse me? This is what you pay line cooks? What's the catch? Like, you sure? I just want to be, like, I remember in my interview, I even told the owners, like, look, I want to come in, do my work. I don't want to go to any other outside event. I want to come in, do my thing, and leave. Yeah, we can do that. It's that moment you realize that I think I've been drinking a little too much Kool-Aid from the other place. It's that moment I realize I'm like, I see what people mean. Like, outsiders always have been weird about the company. Outsider cooks or like people that know people at work. They're like, what is it about that company that just draws everyone back in? Like, so many people will quit and they'll go back to the company. The company doesn't pay well. The company does, they don't pay well. In fact, they're very cheap and stingy, with the amount they pay, but it's, hey, we gave $1,000 at a party one time. We do a tip pulling thing. That's cool. You know what? I want to go back to the whole meme Thanos thing. You know what's really funny? I post a meme. I call out. An entire restaurant calls out. This is 6 months into the fucking pandemic. And only after that shit happened, the next day, management decides to put out like, why wouldn't you say something? It's only after you start to see people like not take this shit. Then it's like, guys, we need to do something. I can see that you guys genuinely care. I see that now. I see you guys really fucking care. I see why a toxic employee like that would still thrive in a company like this. Simply because he knows how to fucking kiss ass. He knows how to turn it on. And he knows who his audience is. He knows who. I can't tell you how many times this guy's just not doing shit. But as soon as the owner walks in, the exec chef comes in. Can I help you? I was like, hey guys. Oh, hey chef. I was just helping. And we were just cleaning, usual stuff. I know it just seems like it just completely took a dump. But like I said, it's the people that really made it, man. When I think about my good times, it's really the people. I don't really care about anything else except the people. The place that I'm at now, it reminds me of the second kitchen I ever worked in. Picture this. And if you know, you know, and if you don't, that's cool, you don't. Go in, pink tiles, smells like Fabuloso, rubber mats, Cisco, as far as the eye can see. Grilled, what is it? Grilled squash, grilled zucchini, grilled portobello. I mean, it hits a spot in me. It just makes me smile. And you see, I'm not caught up with like, oh, I'm not in the fancy restaurant anymore. It's not farm to table. I don't give a fuck. The only thing I cared about is like, dude, are these employees going to be cool? And they are. And you know what? It makes the time go by so much better. It's a shame to have to. I don't know, man. I don't even know what to think anymore. But that's what makes me happy. Cooks, real cooks, cooking, talking, sharing stories. On a prep table doing like, an entire like boxes of vegetables. It's, it's fucking beautiful. I love it. I don't care. Maybe then, like Chris asked me, he's like, okay, so you're at a spot where you're not learning anything new. And it's like, and even then it's like, look, right now I don't care about the move up, right? I don't care about like, oh, you're going to become a sous chef and that by itself is like the amount of times these people play games with people like, oh, you're going to be sous chef. Just kidding. You're going to be just kid. What? I'm tired of finding my own worth, of basing my worth on what someone else thinks. I don't even know if I worded it correctly. I don't give a shit. I'm tired of that shit. I remember the day they're doing like, oh, you're going to be Sue, you're going to be Sue, you're going to be Sue. If it would have been a vote, I would have won hands down. Everyone thought in that restaurant was going to be Sue. Again, I'm not like, oh, I'm going to be snubbed. You know what? You don't know. May or may not happen. And it didn't happen. And my chef at the time went to bat for me, but they still said no to me. Like, I've been passed up so many times for promotions in this company. I don't know why. You know, I don't know. Maybe the owner doesn't like me. Like, the only encounters I had with the owner is the first time I met him, he shook my hand, said hi. And then I remember one time it was Father's Day, and it was a 4-person line, you know? And he goes through every person. Oh, hey, are you a father? Yeah, I'm a father. Blah, blah. Hey, happy Father's Day. Hey, yeah. How are your kids? Blah, blah. Next thing, I'm getting ready. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm getting. He looks at me and just walks away. I'm like, I'm going to go fuck myself now. Good talk, chef. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just. So, what do I have to say to you guys about all this? Don't allow other people to determine your worth. Ever. Understand that a company is just that, as a company, and understand why companies exist. They're there to make money. They might care. They might say they care. They might say, hey, man, if you got. But at the end of the day, there's a limit to that. And no one is going to advocate for you the way you are. When you're giving 100% to a company is not a person. When you give 100% to something else, you're taking away from you. I don't want you to give me 100%. I don't want you to give the place you're at 100%. I want you to give yourself 100%. I want you to take care of yourself. I want you to figure, like, I give 100% to this channel. I am never going to give any company 100%. I don't fucking care. They're not going to determine what my worth is. They're not going to determine my value. I might be, what is it? What? Like, someone else, one person's trash is someone else's treasure? Great. That company doesn't want to he doesn't accept 65%. Hey, joke's on you, fucking chef, who clearly is out of touch with the fucking culture. If you don't like that I give 65%, 45 to 60, you're going to get really disappointed at half of your fucking staff. The only difference is I'm the one that fucking said it. Right? You just need people to keep their fucking heads down. And if and when they were in your position, you know, finish service. Why finish service? Because it's another day that the company keep going. Every day that their fucking their bread delivery guy, the guy that, you know, smokes the pastrami for them, is employed in that kitchen, is one big fuck you to all those employees. It's the big asterisk for every time they're like, we fucking care. In this company, they can't. Really? The guy that spent a good portion of his time talking mad shit to people, tongue punching the exec chef's fucking asshole. That guy is not a good look if that's going to be the kind of shit you're going to be slinging. No one is buying that shit. I've seen so many good chefs leave, so many good cooks leave because they're tired of the bullshit. They start to see it. Their answer was always, we'll give you a lead spot if you just stay with the company. We're opening up a new restaurant and you can be the sous chef there. They had a guy running around through 2 different restaurants like, we'll make you sous. We'll make you sous. There's the fucking carrot. Take it. Just don't fucking leave us. Nah, man. I don't know. I don't know what else I can say. I'm extremely happy where I am. I don't regret what I said. Because at the end of the day, I know that someone's going to watch this. And like the chef said, someone's going to watch it. And maybe that's all they needed to do is watch it for them to take some action. You know, you can still work hard. You know, some of my viewers, it blows my mind that some of my viewers are fucking in 3 Michelin star restaurants. Dead ass serious. I have viewers in 3-star fucking restaurants. And somehow I'm adding value to them. Now I'm going to tell you something, dude. You do what you need to do. You show up, like, do what you know what's expected from you. I don't know. I'm not at your work. You know what's expected from you. Don't ever lose yourself to a fucking entity, a non-person. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you something. You're gone tomorrow. They're not gonna fucking remember your name. What good is all that gonna be? What good is all like? I was in a restaurant. They got 3 stars. Those aren't your stars. I was in a restaurant. It's the best restaurant, and it's not. It's not my restaurant. It's not my company. It's not my dream. You're giving 100% to another person's dream. You're giving 100% to someone else so they can keep striving. For what? What's the answer going to be? So they can fucking give jobs? Get the fuck out of here. No one has a monopoly on happiness. No one has a monopoly on a healthy culture. And anyone that's going to use that, that's a big fucking red flag. That's a real big red flag. The ego behind that statement. So I'm going to wrap it up. I'm back. I'm very happy. You know, the biggest mistake that chef did was fucking deciding that he would have to go and show, because he just showed me how fucking out of touch with the culture he is. It just showed me, it's like, that's what a me person looks like. You know, let me tell you, he's got his own fucking, he's got his own priorities, and you are not one of them. Unless, of course, you're willing to tongue punch some asshole, keep your fucking head down, and play Silence of the Lambs. And again, you know, it's fine. They're gonna be successful. They'll be fine without me. This video is not gonna take down the entire company. Out of your fucking mind if you think I have that kind of power. But you know what? The 2 years that I've done this channel, the 2 years that I've spent talking to you guys, whether it's through comments, making the videos, getting the DMs, the people that I've met, it made me realize that no matter what he says, no matter what he thinks, it is so irrelevant, because he is truly a dying breed. He's like those fucking boomers that it's like, because you're not breaking your fucking back and you figured out how to work smart, somehow you're not working as hard. Because you didn't walk 15 miles across the fucking snow, you're fucking soft. Because you're not giving 100% to the company, you clearly aren't committed. You clearly aren't capable of leading or being a chef or being... This is their time, but I promise you, advocate for yourself. If you give 100% to yourself first, above all else before you leave the house, respect yourself above a company, I'm telling you right now, people at that exec chef are going to end up being... They can stay in their own little fucking bubble where they can all jerk each other off. No matter what they say, they're not going to last forever. That shit ain't going to last forever. That mindset, that culture. Right now, it just sucks. It's their kitchen. It's their world. But someday, it's going to be a point where not a lot of people are going to want to work for them. Not a lot of people are going to want... He's going to open up his own fucking Wendy's. You know, he's going to have his grill boy, his delivery boy, his meat guy, you know, cleaning the bathrooms. And then he's going to wonder why no one wants to come and fucking work for him. Because there he is with his fucking 100% shit. You know. Times are changing. And I'm really happy to be a part of it. And I could give a fuck less who disagrees with that. Because at the end of the day, what am I really arguing for? You know? I'm arguing for our well-being. I'm using my personal experience, like I said. I'm not talking in theory. I've already gone down that road. And I didn't go all the way because I'm not a sous chef and I'm not a chef. But you don't need to go all the way to know what's right and wrong. And you don't need to have the right words right now. You know, sometimes it's just a gut feeling. It's good enough. So anyways, I'm back. I've missed you all. Now, I got nothing stopping me. My focus now is this channel. I'm going to talk about whatever needs to be talked about, and I could give a fuck less. And you know what? It's fine. I know the chefs aren't going to fucking be listening to me. They're not. I'm not important enough to them. Joke's on them, though. There's a fuck ton of you and only a few of them. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. And I want all of you guys to have a great service. And remember, give 100% to yourself above all else.